Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello student. Now we are going to learn about past continuous tense. So let's get started. Wait, before we learn about past continuous tense, hello student. Welcome to our online class. I hope you are as ready as I am to start learning and have fun. We're in this together. So let's respect and support each other. So let's get started. Let's go. Okay class, now I will explain you what is past continuous tense. The past continuous tense, also known as refers to a continuing action or step that was happening at some point in the past. So, the past continuous tense atau past progressive tense adalah suatu bentuk kata kerja yang digunakan untuk menyatakan bahwa suatu aksi tersebut terjadi pada waktu tertentu di masa lampau. Aksi pada tense tersebut telah dimulai tapi belum selesai pada saat itu. Now class, I will mention you about uses of the past continuous tense. The first one is to describe an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. So, it can conclude that past continuous tense digunakan untuk mengidentifikasi sesuatu aksi yang terjadi selama momen tertentu di masa lampau. For example, I was shopping at this time yesterday, or saya sedang berbelanja pada jam kemarin. The second one is to talk about an action that was in progress when a second action happened. So it can be concluded as berbicara tentang tindakan yang sedang berlangsung saat tindakan kedua terjadi. For example, I was studying when the fire alarm went off, atau saya sedang belajar ketika alarm kebakaran berbunyi. The third, to give background information and story, untuk memberikan informasi latar belakang dalam sebuah cerita. For example, it was getting dark. I was walking down the road and I saw a strange man. Hari semakin gelap. Saya sedang berjalan ketika saya melihat seorang pria asing. And last is to talk about two actions that were in progress at the same time in the past. It can be concluded, jadi dua tindakan dalam satu waktu di masa lampau. Contohnya adalah I was having a bath while my husband cooking. Saya sedang mandi ketika suami saya memasak. Okay class, the past continuous tense divided into three. There is a positive sentences, negative sentences, and question mark or question sentences. So there is now I will explain you about positive formula that we use in a past continuous tense. Okay, for subject I, see, he, it, to be in the past continuous, we use was. And after to be was, we use verb ing and object. And after that is we use complement. Whatever is anything that object, adjective, adverb, etc. And for you, we, they, we use to be were. And after that we use verb ing, and after that is complement. Same as positive, the complement is anything you want and anything that unnecessary, but you must remember the subject and the to be of the positive formula when we use past continuous. Okay, I remind you, if the subject is I, she, he, and it, we use to be was. And after that, if you use subject you, see, you, we, they, we use were. Okay, that's it. Just remember. Okay, now I will explain you about negative formula that we use in the past continuous tense. Okay, for the subject, I, see, he, it, we use to be was, but don't forget to put and add not. So it can be concluded that wasn't. And after that, we use verb ing. And after verb ing, we can add complement it can be object, adjective, adverb, etc. And if we use subject you, we, they, we add were, but don't forget to put not, so it can become good that become weren't or were not, and after that we use verb ing, and after that we use complement. That's it. Just remember the subject, and you can answering, and you can know about, and you can use the past continuous tense correctly. Okay, so then this is the last formula. This is the question formula. If in positive and negative sentences we use subject first, but in the question formula we put to be first. After for to be was, the subject is I, she, he, it, and after that we use verbing, after that complement, and don't forget to put and add question mark in the end of the sentences. And for the to be were, you, we, they, after that verb in and complement, and don't forget to question mark too. And that's it. I hope you remember the question, and so you can easily answering the question. Okay, we use the past continuous tense to describe a past action over a period of time. If you started at 11 a.m., then when it's still progress until if you must starting until, but at 8 p.m. you finish it doing, and until now you can see the picture. And for example, what were you doing yesterday at 8 o'clock? I was working all the day. Because you working all the day, but you started to it at 8 a.m. but you finish at 8 p.m. so in the past. So okay, this is the example to this past continuous tense to describe an action that was in progress at specific time in the past. For positive statement that I say before, that the first one is subject, after that to be, and after that verb in, and after that complement. For example, the farmer was working at 6 o'clock yesterday evening. So it can be concluded the farmer is subject, was is to be, working is verb in, at 9 o'clock yesterday morning as a complement. And I was watching TV when she called. I is subject, was is to be, watching is verb in. Okay, but I don't put with subject where, so we can make it. For example, we were watching a cinema when Andy left, right? And for negative sentences, for example, you were not listening to me when I told you to turn the oven off. Okay, you, for subject you, we use were, to be were, and after that we add not, so become negative sentences because were not, listening is verb in, and after that the complement. And the second is you were not studying when she called. After that we have question sentences. The first one is what were you doing when the earthquake started? And the second is what were you doing when you broke your leg? So the first one is were. You can put some what, but if you just write were or was, totally correct, guys. So you can, that's it. You can remember it, and you can remember it these sentences, and you can answer. And understand what the past continuous tense is, right? Okay, same as the slide before, to describe an action that was progressed at a specific time in the past. So that means tindakan yang berlangsung di waktu yang spesifik di masa lampau. For example, this time yesterday the hairdresser was working. The second is I was eating dinner. The third, at midnight we were still driving through the desert. The last is yesterday at this time I was sitting at my desk at work. Okay, you can pause this slide if you want to know more about the example or understanding what is past continuous. Okay, class? Okay, class, now is the past continuous to talk about two actions that were in progress at same time in the past. So that means dua tindakan yang bersamaan dalam satu waktu di masa lampau. For example, about positive sentences, I was having a bath while my husband was cooking. While Alan was reading, Time was watching television. So this is two action were in progress. So I was having a bath. Saya sedang mandi ketika suami saya sedang memasak. So that means that two action, right? And the second is while Alan was reading, Tim was watching television. So that means ketika Alan sedang membaca, Tim sedang menonton televisi. Both actions were simultaneous. For the negative sentences, I was not paying attention while I was writing the letters, so I made several mistakes. And second, and Thomas wasn't working and I was working either. Jadi saya tidak meminta perhatian. Saya tidak menyimak ketika membuat surat, jadi saya saya membuat beberapa kesalahan. Dan yang kedua itu ada Thomas tidak bekerja dan saya pun sedang tidak bekerja. And the last for the question mark is, were you listening while he was talking? Apakah kamu mendengarkan ketika laki-laki itu berbicara? And the last is, what were you doing while you were eating? Okay, that's it, guys. The question. The past continuous about to talk about two actions that were in progress at some time in the past. Okay, class. Now to talk about an action that was in progress when a second action happened. It means that berbicara tentang tindakan yang sedang berlangsung saat tindakan kedua terjadi. For example, the policeman broke his ankle while he was running after the dog. So, that means that seorang polisi itu mematahkan kakinya patah ketika dia mengejar di belakang anjingnya, gitu ya. And the second is while I was studying psycho. Jadi ketika saya belajar, dia menelpon saya. That means so the action was in the progress when a second action is happening, right? Okay, student, this is the last slide. The use of the past continuous tense in active and passive. Example, for the active is the salesman was helping the customer when the thief come into the store, and for the passive is the customer was being helped by the salesman when the thief come in the store. The difference is in active, the salesman was helping after to be and verb in, but in the passive was being but helped by we use to be, verb in, and the verb third. That's it. You can remember it, and you can read it. This slide if you want to know. Ask me, right? Okay, class. I think it's enough to explain you about past continuous tense. But if you have a question to understand what is past continuous, or you confused about What is past continuous tense? You can ask me. But if just learn it first, after that if you still don't understand, ask me. Okay, I think it's enough for today. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.